Hey everybody, and welcome to the Squadcast. I'm one of your hosts, pandaforcegaming.
And I'm your other host. I'm tubbytotodile. This is very different for the both of us.
This is very different. We've never done this.
This is different and cool. And we also
Yes.
have a guest. We have a third with us today.
Yes, joining us today.
Dead channel. It be Aaron. Twitch.tv.
Yeah.
Yo.
Formerly the Holy Shrug.
Let's go!
Let's go.
I'm a Shrug stan for life, and I say that
Shrugs.
sincerely. You know,
Yeah.
I bought
Thanks,
Shrug merch. It may have had me on it, but that's not the reason I got it.
That's beside
Yeah.
the point. That's beside the point.
I got it on right now. The big hot hoodie.
Yeah,
We
big
got
hot merch.
here. I'll show it off a little bit. We got Peach here. We got Jordan.
Let's go!
We got myself, and then we have Bunny Ballistic.
Yeah.
My beautiful and wonderful girlfriend who's at work right now.
Yeah. Who's also
Yeah.
known as the biggest, hottest guy.
Yeah, she's the leader of the
Yeah, the
Of
leader of
big
the
hot
grunge.
guys.
the big hot guy, the big hot Don.
Yeah. Yeah. What a good time in our lives when we were doing the big hot guys.
Yeah, I know, dude. That was over a year ago.
I know. That's
You
insane.
know how fucking crazy that is?
In the past year, all of us have gotten insanely busy. And then I sort of got less busy again. But you have been on the grind.
I have been on the grind. I'm fucking working. I haven't streamed regularly as of recording this about 4 months now. I just haven't had time. Even when I was... It probably hasn't been consistent since, like, January 2022. Which
Yeah.
is crazy to me. But at the same time, like, I got bills to pay, man. Content don't pay the bills.
Well, that's also
Yeah,
the last time I was truly consistent with streaming, too, to be real.
Yeah.
Because that's around the
No.
time I got my job.
Yeah.
You guys are totally feeling this. Like, it's weird being the older guy because, like, I already had this exact fucking thing happen to me already in life where it's like all of a fucking sudden you just like all the responsibility is thrown at you. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I go from like always free to never fucking free. Ever.
Yeah,
Yep.
ever.
Well, it
It's
happens
crazy.
to just about everybody in like their early to mid 20s, right? Like when you're figuring your shit out,
Yeah.
or when you're first getting out of college, getting your first job, or if you're not in college, you're fucking paying the bills and working just equally as hard.
Yeah. The first job, I mean, especially because, you know, you don't really have, like, the balance figured out yet. Or maybe the job doesn't have the greatest hours because you just took what you can get. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's you don't have a good balance going on. It's mostly work. That's taking up all your time.
Yeah, for sure.
In particular, I think something all three of us can agree on, being a manager really sucks.
I think having any responsibility over people in any way, shape, or form, it's just like, God, because people are so unpredictable. So, because it's like,
Yeah.
you know what you're about, you know what you're about to get into, and how you're gonna fuck up your work shift or go about your day or whatever. But there's always that one fuck who just like has to do it wrong or loves like. There's always that just one fucking person that's just like going against the grain and makes your day harder.
Well, absolutely, but it's
Yeah.
managing personalities, right? Like, you have to, say you're leading a team, I'll use myself as an example. I ran a sub shop for about a year, and I was, like, the head honcho at, like, 21 years old, which is, don't give somebody that young, but I had employees much older than me, and it was interesting just trying to balance all the personalities while also getting everybody on the same page, like, hey, this is what we're here to do, we're here to work, but you guys got to get along. You guys got to get along with me. If you guys have concerns, you got to come to me. Like, there's a lot of different aspects that go into it.
For sure.
Hey,
and even
chill out.
even harder than that is, like, you know, dealing with your employees is one thing, but dealing with upper management and dealing with customers, both sides of the spectrum just really just come together to really make it a bad experience.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I worked under... So, when I was running the sub shop, I had a franchisee. It wasn't, like, actual corporate.
Yeah.
But he ran 5 stores, and it went him at the very top, it was like he had 2 or 3 people that he ran his franchise as kind of like a family business, but he had the 2 people under him were his quote unquote air quotes district managers, right? And so they would go around to the 5 stores and just kind of do fuck all. No disrespect, they're very lovely people, but like it was it created a whole dynamic where it was like, okay, so now I have 3 people above me that I need to like deal with and make sure that they're satisfied, as well as all of my employees, and then customers are the fucking worst.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I don't. Okay, like I don't understand customers because like I've also been in like manager positions and stuff like at a younger age. Who the fuck are you to be like a customer of any age and see this young dude or young individual of whoever, just this young person putting in the fucking work, and you're like going to make their day harder? Don't you? Like, what? Who do you think you are?
Yeah. What's going on in your life? You are not more important than the person across the counter from you.
Yeah, it's crazy because people have such like this feeling of entitlement and this drive to ruin the people who are serving them, like ruin their day.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. You would want those people to be happy, I think. Like,
yeah,
even before I worked in the service industry, I was always nice to people when I was going through like a drive-through because I knew that their job sucked and I don't want to make it worse.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, there's nothing that can kill your like motivation to be in the service industry more than just like having a bad customer experience. Like, you get in, you're ready for your 8 to 10 hour shift, you're ready to grind, get it done, make some food or drinks or whatever you're making, but then somebody comes in, some bitch comes in, and you're just one bad experience in the first like 15 minutes of the shift, your whole shift is fucking ruined.
Exactly. You could have the best staff in the world and it wouldn't matter if the upper management and the customers are the worst.
Yeah, like you didn't put enough caramel in my drink, so I'm gonna make it all of your problems.
Yeah. That's why, to speak to what you said, Bobby, about how managing people like in any aspect is bad, I would sort of disagree, specifically meaning being the pseudo leader of like the Game Squad group. I love and like organizing people for hardcore or whatever. I love doing that because it's a great group of people that I get to work with and manage. And there's no customers, absolutely. And there's no upper management.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. There's a huge difference, right? Like, the Game Squad is... You're leading a group of people who you kind of more or less picked yourself, right? Whereas when you go, like, work at McDonald's, it's literally just like, okay, so today we hired on Rebecca, Greg, and Billy. And, like, Greg's sitting there, and he's, like, got his hand up his fucking finger, and he's like...
Huh. Is that blood? Do you think that's blood? I'm not sure if that's blood.
Anyway, and then they like start touching the food with the finger they just had up their nose, and it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, 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 whoa!
Yeah, what are you doing? Stop!
You guys hired him?
Yeah, and you'll tell people like, no, dude, you gotta do this. Like, you know, it's not just like, oh, corporate and management says you gotta wear the gloves. Like, no, you gotta do that, dude, or you're gonna get people sick.
No, now, okay. Did you guys, in your time, like, being managers or whatever, try to, like, be the cool boss, and then someone, like, kind of was like, oh, that means I can do things wrong. And it's like, that's not what that means. I'm just, like, trying to make your time here not suck.
So I was the cool boss, and there was... Mostly people just respected it because they knew the alternative, because they had shitty managers. But there were a couple times where people tried to take advantage of me, and I made it very clear. I'm going to be cool, and I'm going to be nice to you, and I'm going to work hard, but you going to work hard too. That's how this is going to work.
Yeah, similar boat for me. I love being the cool. When I switched companies, one of the things that like the upper management at the new company were really impressed by was just how I managed people, because you come to work and it'd be like hanging out. We just happen to be working on the side, but like... when it comes to your food service operations and shit like that, obviously you have your corporate protocol of what you're supposed to do, exactly the way you're supposed to do it. Obviously, that's not going to be followed 100% of the time to the T, right?
Right.
But at the same time, like, if you're going to cut a corner, you may as well cut a corner. If it makes your job easier without, fucking up the whole process, I've got no problem with that. Please, by all means, go do that.
Mm-hmm.
We run into issues when you're not showing up to work and stuff like that, like no call, no show, and calling in sick 10 minutes before your shift. But
Yeah.
before, like, when it comes to the job itself, if you're able to show up on time in the food service industry and do your job when you're there, I don't really care what you do. I don't care what corners you cut.
True. Yeah, because a lot of it is like, some things you can get away with as long as, you're not breaking any like health code violations, and as long as you're doing what I need you to do.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like health code stuff is pretty easy. In my experience, at least, I've been through a few like audits and things like that. You know the deal. You've been in food service.
Of course.
But like, as long as you're clean, you're sanitized, you're working, and you're in proper uniform, I don't give a shit. Like, you're good. I'll be the cool boss. We'll hang out. Like, we'll talk outside of work if you really want. Like, I get along with just about anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I totally feel that.
I will say this about that job though. I really didn't enjoy it. There were good parts of it, but mostly it was negative. But if there's one thing that it's really done for me, it's really fixed my motivation and my drive to do things for myself now that I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I really struggle with in general is having the motivation to do what I want to do. Because I'll be like, oh, I want to do this. I want to make content. I want to stream all the time, which I still don't do that often because I'm working on other things. But, I want to make all this stuff. And then I never get past the I want to phase.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a commitment, right? You got a lot of. Oh my God! Hi, Peach. You want to say hi to the podcast? Hi. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi, Peach.
Yep. She's assaulting my hand. But this is Peach, the princess or the fruit. Kind of depends on your disposition toward Nintendo.
It depends on the day.
Yeah. She can be a menace. She can be a princess, or she can be a fucking menace to society.
Like the fruit.
Like the fruit.
Like the fruit.
Yeah, we as Game Squad officially endorse hating peaches.
Yeah.
Not my dog, but the fruit.
No, yeah.
All right, ma'am, I'm gonna grab you. Go get your chewy. Go get your chewy. Go. Hey, ma'am.
But yeah, I know that Bobby, you and I have had many conversations about having like spikes of motivation, and then it trails off for a while.
Yeah, no, I was actually just having this conversation earlier today with Sen, where it's like, I have what I call post-summer slump, because like it's post-summer right now, like we just kind of started fall, and that's where I feel the most of my like dip in motivation, where like I'll have all these insanely good ideas where I'll like be sitting here thinking like, oh, I should be working on stuff, but like I just like can't bring myself to it, kind of dealio.
Mm-hmm.
And the for me over the years I've kind of learned like instead of like fighting that so much and being like, oh, I gotta be working, or I gotta be making stuff, or I gotta. This year, I kind of just, like, for a little bit, embraced the slump. Not in the sense of, like, I'm staying in bed all day and, like I'm, being, like, depressed. Like, I don't want to, like, I'm not trying to, like, let it get that far. But, I'm kind of opening the door of leniency and letting myself, like, yeah, you're not making money off of your content. It's a hobby, right? Go ahead and take a small break and do the things that are making you happy currently. So that way you can kind of be 100% prepared when you're like, you know, gonna get back into it, and when your brain feels refreshed and you've got that, you know, clarity, you could make the best content you can. You know, I think that's really important.
Well, yeah, it's a hobby until it becomes a job, right? And while it's a hobby, you need to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy your hobbies, why the fuck are you doing? Why is it your hobby? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
If you're making content, you're going through a bit of a rut. Okay, cool. Take a little bit of a break. Let your brain recharge. Artists do it all the time. Writers do it all the time. Just take some time away from it, and then come back when inspiration hits you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go put.
I mean,
I'm gonna
honestly,
give her away.
I think even once it becomes a job, maybe we'll just cut this out.
That's okay. He can catch up. He can be filled in. He walked away. He made this choice.
I think even once it becomes a job, you can still sort of like take that break, as long as you have enough money to be able to do so, because when it comes down to it, like, you know, the people who watch you are going to understand. Even if it's a thing of like cutting down your usual content to like the bare minimum, just like, you know, not putting any effort in, just putting out stuff to make sure that you still stay relevant in algorithms. I think that's much better than forcing yourself to go through and try to make stuff that you just don't feel able to.
Yeah, I think just giving yourself the option, right, of like, oh, I can take this break. I can step away from this and enjoy a little bit of me time. That's how I kind of look at it, right?
Yeah.
Well,
because you kind of need to be able to give yourself that option. You know, it's nice. So if you don't have that, that's when people experience like burnout and stuff, is when they feel like they have to always be grinding.
Well, and not only that, like, when you get into that like mindset of like, oh, I got to get this out, I got to make this content, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to get my shit together. You're not going to be happy with the quality of the work. You'll never be satisfied with the quality of your work.
No.
Like,
because you're just doing it to get it done. You're not doing it to make something that you want to make.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's it's really important to like enjoy your hobbies per se. And I know that's kind of been lost on this whole generation, as far as like, oh, I'm gonna get all the clout onto social media, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and they have one TikTok blow up, and they're like, "Oh fuck, I can make this a career." That's not how that shit works. You got to take it at your own pace and just do what you enjoy doing.
Yeah,
and success will come.
Yeah, and something I think maybe we've all realized to an extent, because we're all creators, is that it's so much more work than anyone could have like given you the information for, right? Like when I was getting into content creation, I was like, oh, yippee, this is gonna be so fucking easy. And sure, it was, but like the quality of everything was not there. You know, like the thumbnails looked like ass, the video sounded bad, like, you know, and like obviously we all like have to start somewhere and learn from something too.
Of course. Yeah, it's always a learning experience. Like, you learn from every project you put out. You and I are very similar in our content journey, Bobby, because we both started making group Let's Play channels. That were maybe not the best quality. And slowly over time, we've sort of grown into doing our own thing and doing what we enjoy and getting better and better at making what we want.
Yeah, I have fun actually like working on the content now. Like when I was editing for the previous Let's Play that I was a part of, it felt very like when I would sit down to edit, some days it was like, oh, okay, it's because I have to, right? Because I got to get this footage out. I got to get this episode out. Now, like, you know, fucking, I'm spending, you know, X amount of time working on a video and having so much fun doing it, just because, like, you know, the quality of, or not even the quality, but like my perception of what a good video is has changed.
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. I mean, you guys came similar ways from like the Minecraft Let's Play stuff, right?
Not really. Before, well, technically, I did not start with the group Let's Play channel, and I did start with Minecraft stuff. But all that's unlisted, so don't go looking for that.
Don't be looking for that.
But no, we actually didn't do much Minecraft until on our channels until we met each other. Or maybe slightly before that.
How did you guys meet?
Well, actually, it was because of our Let's Play channels.
Yeah.
Before we were this big group, Game Squad was a Let's Play channel that I was one of the 4 to 5 hosts on, depending on what area you're talking about. And just meeting, I was, finding a bunch of different people through Twitter, and one of those people was another group Let's Play channel. It was just a duo, HM5, I want to say, Entertainment, was it? Either way,
HM5 Entertainment. Yep, you're right. You're right.
We did a collaboration with them, myself and Michael, and that video was seen by a mutual of HM5, Bobby.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, and Bobby just hit me up on Twitter after that, and he was like, that was really funny stuff what you guys were doing. If you ever want to do something with us, let me know, or something like that. Basically, he was just trying to network.
Yeah. Well, of course.
And I was bad at networking too, because I was just when you're getting into YouTube at first, and then you're young and you're younger. I was definitely younger, and I didn't know much about content creation or YouTube as a whole, so I was kind of doing a lot of how to grow your YouTube channel. I don't know how stereotypical that is for small creators first starting out to do, but I was doing a lot of that. I was doing a lot of just how do I grow my channel, and how do I do this and do that. And a lot of one of the things I saw a lot of people saying was network. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll try to do that. I guess, pushing my fingers together, I'll try. And so I would reach out to creators, but I was where you guys kind of currently are in life, right? Where I would reach out and express, admiration and wanting to be friends, but I was never ever have the fucking free time ever. Jordan in particular, after we had became acquainted, he had hit me up multiple times, hey, let's work on stuff together. And I was like, I can't. I'm so busy, I can't.
Yeah, and I definitely understood that. The thing about it, though, and you and I have talked about what we were doing on Twitter, and you always talk, bad about yourself, about how you were networking. I'd say it was a hell of a lot better the way you did it, because the way that you met me was by seeing me in a collaboration with one of the people you were already networked with, and then reaching out. How I met them was by following random people on Twitter that had followed the Game Grumps and had a YouTube channel in their bio.
You told me that before, and it's so funny when you told me that, because we had been friends for a while when you told me that.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like, "Oh my god, that's genius! Why didn't I think of that?"
Because that's totally the vibe we were going for our channel was Game Grumps. So I was like, I followed people who follow Game Grumps, and then they'll like us.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, it's also how I met PJ.
That's big brain as shit. Wait a minute.
Even though he didn't watch Game Grumps. But yeah. So, I think I was doing it more scummy than you were. But regardless of how bad we look back on ourselves with that, I'm glad I did it because we were able to meet because of that. I think that knowing each other has really helped us grow as creators.
That's what I was gonna say. Call it scummy or call it whatever you want for the time, right?
Yeah.
We have members who are foundations of this group. This group as a whole is because of you, right? We all exist and hang out and play Minecraft and spend time together in a group that you created, so I think that's something to keep in mind.
That is true. I did form this from people I knew IRL and people I met scummily on Twitter. And then picking
And
up
here
friends
we
of
are.
friends along the
But
way.
we're
Yeah, I was
also
gonna say, yeah.
scumbags.
Although, you're sort of an anomaly, Aaron, because we didn't meet you through a friend of a friend.
Mm-hmm.
You just
Yeah.
happened... Somebody told you to raid me, because they just
Yep.
liked my profile picture. And
Yep.
then we started, like, you know, we met that day, we talked a little bit, we started talking a little more and more, and then somehow we became friends.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I mean, well, my whole deal with getting networking, my experience is a little bit different from you guys. I was, at the time that I started like recording, I was in college still, if I remember right, and my mental could not, like, my whole situation at the time was just not good. I had some real life stuff going on that just wasn't good for my mental, and my whole like get up to go to bed like routine was just not good. Like I was skipping classes, I was doing some stuff, or like I was
Sounds
skipping
like
classes.
me in college.
Yeah, I was skipping classes. I was literally getting up, going to work, and then driving an hour and a half to go like do something else because I just didn't feel like it, you know. But at when I finally realized that, like, and then I started recording with the guys that I just grew up playing with IRL, and the guys
Yeah.
that I had met just over the years who happened to live locally. Like my best friend and probably the best man when I get married. Probably, hi Dylan, I love you. He, like, him and I recorded a couple videos, you know, like we would just dick around. Like he was just getting into Counter-Strike at the time, so we were like, okay, shit, let's hop on Counter-Strike and just record some stupid shit. And we'd play for like 4 hours, and then I'd cut it up into usable clips and then upload it. And I probably should go back and edit a couple of things because there's some questionable shit on my YouTube channel that still
I mean,
needs to be moderated.
I know how that goes. I had some, I had my CSGO days as well back in high school with those boys.
Yeah.
There was some questionable stuff said during those matches. I mean, it's
Yeah.
CS.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah, no, it was a different time, you know, like,
Oh, yeah.
what the standard for what could be said and like what could be joked about and stuff like that was a lot lower. Like the bar is at a pretty reasonable level now, where like,
Yeah.
you know,
It makes sense now.
yeah, but like back in 7, 8, 9 years ago,
Yeah.
even like 3, 4 years ago, it was down here.
Yeah.
But
Like, I don't think any of us ever said, like, anything truly terrible. But still, nothing I would say now. For
yeah,
sure.
no, it's stuff that would get somebody much larger than I canceled
Yeah.
nowadays, you know, like, but it would just be a joke, you know, that was just the acceptable humor. Anyway, after I started uploading videos, and I moved back home, I started streaming because honestly, editing at the time, like, I was in the mindset of like, oh, I could do this for fun, but then I kind of like started treating it as a job, even though I wasn't getting any income from it, because it was my mental outlet at the time. Like that was at where my head was at the time. I needed it. I needed something to like treat like a job.
For sure.
So
it gives you structure.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
so
Game Squad, like, I treated that like a job. Like, there's spreadsheets somewhere, like actual spreadsheets of like what I was uploading each day, and like, you know, what like all the titles would be and all that.
yeah,
It was crazy.
Yeah, and after posting some YouTube stuff, I actually met Kush. He found one of my old school or one of my old YouTube videos, and the whole reason that I know Kush and the whole reason that we know Kush is he reached out to me one day and was like, "Hey, some of these jokes actually aren't that bad. Do you want to reach out?" And then I've known Kush for almost 3 years now. Like, that's crazy to me. But after I moved, I had to move back home due to everything going on. And after I got home, I was like, okay, instead of recording, why don't I just stream? Because that's a lot more low key and a lot less stress on me. So I started streaming. I started like posting the old school cringy TikToks of like, oh, I'm a streamer, you know, because
Yeah.
TikTok was on the uptrend, you know, like it was right as it was blowing the fuck up. And then somebody reached out to the same person that told me to raid you, reached out to me because they saw a TikTok and we got to know each other that way. And after fast forward a little bit, and we raided you, like everybody just started growing together, everything was all good, some stupid shit happened, and now here we are, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about how time has flown.
Yeah, and how even things that we look back on and regret all led up to, you know, having grown and having met great people.
Yeah, I mean, all the people that I know now, like everybody, like I wouldn't have met my girlfriend Bunny. Like,
That's true.
she lives here. Like her and I live together. We have a cat who's back there and the dog that you met earlier.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have met her if it wasn't for like all of the people that I've met through playing games, streaming, content creation. Like I'm very grateful for all the experience that I've gotten.
Hell yeah. No, I feel that. I totally feel that. Fucking I feel very similarly, especially towards like Game Squad as a group, because I haven't needed any other friends online, right? Like I needed some friends and I started hanging out with Game Squad, and that's that. We've been friends since, and that's all I fucking needed.
Yeah. Although it took a while. It took me buying you Minecraft for you to start actually. Bobby and I, even though we'd worked together, like we'd done like a video collaboration where we recorded a video for each other's channels for an April Fool's Day. We'd never actually spoken in a call until the day that I bought him Minecraft and we recorded a hardcore season.
Oh,
It was like it was like a perfect storm. Like you were like, hey, you know, this is like, I will buy you this game, please be a part of my series. And it was like, you caught me right when my life was kind of like making a transition, because I had stopped working at a very specific job. I was working as a fucking pharmaceutical lab technician. Like technically, if you just want to be like technical about it, that's what I was doing. And I stopped doing that.
Okay.
And I transitioned over to just kind of living a different life. Like I moved out of an apartment and was living at a house with my brother, and just like working a bitch part-time job. Like things were just totally changing for me at that time in life, and so like my free time had totally opened up, more than available to like collaborate with people and do new things. And like my mental at the time was like so focused on being a creator that I was like so open to just any new experience. I was like stepping out of my comfort zone, and that was like the first big one, was like downloading Discord and getting in a call with Jordan and PJ and like just all these people who I don't really know that well.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah. He died so soon. I forgot that one of the first people that you talked to was PJ.
Yeah.
We ran a big risk of you never talking to us again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and he's still here. I'll love PJ.
Oh, I love PJ, but I mean, there's people that we've definitely chased off because of PJ.
Oh, absolutely, and for better or for worse, you know, like
Probably for better, because I mean,
and
PJ's are part of our group.
Well, PJ's not only a part of the group, but he kind of creates that like a little bit of a buffer, right, between like, because you have the actual group here, and then you have PJ. So any prospective like people have to get through the PJ vibe check if they want to actually make it, you know, and vibe with the group well.
True.
No, I kind of agree with that, right? Like, I don't condone everything that PJ does, right? Like, I'm not gonna tell him what to do either. I'm not his fucking dad, right? But
Yeah.
Of course
I
not.
will say
there's shit that he's done that I'm like, why the hell would you do that?
I will
But-
say
Yeah.
I do like that he kind of, I like what Aaron said. He does kind of create this buffer between like who we kind of want around, right? Like, you know,
Yeah.
look at if you go to pj.tv and look at the most popular clip there, you'll get an idea of what I'm fucking talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the kind of people that we could very easily get as part of our group, since we're, we're not exclusively, but we're focused around a Minecraft SMP.
Yeah.
We could easily attract people that we don't want.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it keeps the people. Yeah, no, in my opinion, PJ keeps everything lighthearted, right? Because like
Yes.
everybody who's currently in the group, we get along with Peach. We love Peach. Peach is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But to somebody who takes who takes it all a little bit more seriously, like some of the stuff that's said and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To us, he's keeping it lighthearted. To them, he's like the scum of the earth,
Yeah.
So.
And I want to be around people that are lighthearted, that
Yeah.
see PJ as lighthearted.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's our group's vibe check, really.
He's our
Yeah.
He's our group's vibe check. He's TSA security. All right, shoes in the bin. Walk through the metal detector, and now you have to sit and talk to PJ for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're gonna lock you in a room. We're gonna sit you down, lock you in a room. It's gonna be you and him in a plain blank room, and you have to get along with him.
If you walk out of that
And if you don't,
experience,
I'm sorry, you can't get on the
yeah,
plane.
if you walk out of that experience going, I don't know about that guy, you can't board.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can't board the plane. It's a party bus, but in the air. Like it wouldn't work.
Yeah. What's crazy to me is how long I've known PJ, because I've actually known him longer than even Bobby.
Okay.
I've known PJ since he was one of the very first people that I randomly followed. I met him when he was 14.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I didn't even know that. Like, me and Michael and Cameron, we were all talking with him one day. He was just chilling in like an old Game Squad live stream, and we thought the dude was like 16, 17. Like, I just assumed he was my age. No, he was 14.
He was a kiddo.
Yeah, but like, even though he is so like immature in his own way, he's also wildly mature compared to a lot of people his age. So we just never even thought that he was that young.
So yeah, he's one of those people that, like, from an outsider's perspective, right? From like somebody who's coming in and looking from the outside, PJ just looks like a menace. But to us, it's like, no, he's just really funny and really fucking mature. Like,
Yeah.
if you need to sit down and have a serious chat with PJ, he'll have a serious chat with you, no problem.
Yeah,
of
I think
course.
that's like what people like that, like the outsider doesn't understand, and that's why like I think it's so important to like give people a small chance when it like comes to certain things, right? If they're opening up a door of friendship or whatever, and you got there's so much. What I'm getting at is there's just so much more to PJ than like what you might expect, right? Like if you at a glance, all you see is the Twitter and the Twitch, right? And it kind of gives you an impression of like aloof, carefree kind of guy, and he is. But when he needs to be serious, or when he has like something he's passionate about, like he really embraces those things, and he's really, really smart, So it's like there's a whole PJ behind the scenes that they don't fucking see.
Yeah, there's a big difference between PJ, like PJ_TV, the content, and PJ the person.
Yeah.
I think that,
And
I
feel
think I think that's true for all of us to a lesser extent. I definitely am a little more serious off camera. But with him especially, I think a lot of people that might not, vibe with him think that the way he acts on stream is how he really is.
Yeah, and a lot of people, like, the issue, I've noticed it a lot when looking at, like, the small streamers that are trying to make it big and, like, taking it seriously and treating it as a job, not a hobby. They have a hard time, I feel like you need a good balance of being, the person that you see off camera and the person that you are on camera. If you lose that balance, and, like, if you lose that balance, you're not gonna make it, I guess.
Yeah.
Would be,
like,
in layman's terms.
Like, you have to be true to yourself when you're making your content, but you kind of have to play a character a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean,
Maybe it's just an extreme version of yourself, but
Yeah,
if you're just being you, it's not gonna things aren't gonna go well for you.
Yeah, well, and if your goal is to make it big and turn this into a job, you fuck, dude. You're not gonna succeed if you don't know how to strike a balance. You know.
Yeah.
It's the same with like traditional jobs and the work-life balance. You know, like you can't be working 60 to 80 hours a week. That's gonna fucking kill you, and not be your own separate person off of the camera.
Yeah, because if you're the same way in real life as you are on camera, then it's like you're always working. You know, you're always on.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, as I was going through my process of streaming, that's kind of how I felt. I felt like when I started, I was trying a little too hard to be a different person on stream and be more engaging and stuff like that. But as I grew, as like my community grew and my regular viewers like would come in, keep coming back. I had a lot of IRLs that tuned into the stream when I first started, but as I got more comfortable with just being myself on camera, I started to be more like myself. But at the same time, like you still got to have that filter up. You still got to be careful because, you know, the content standard nowadays is maybe different than what you are like off camera a little bit.
For sure. I mean, that, and also, you know, maybe if you're just being you, you're not being entertaining. So,
yeah,
you know, like I said, I don't want to make it come across as if we're not being like, you know, we're pretending to be someone we're not. We're being ourselves. We're just sort of dialing it up. Like it's a slightly like different persona, content versus not.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's something that you definitely just get used to and develop as you grow as a creator.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all had a long time to do that. Like, how long have you guys been making content?
Oh man, I started making videos in 2017. Like actually, right at like fall 2017. So like,
oh, so you're pretty much 5 years ago.
This is like,
You're
this
a
is
boomer.
my fifth year.
Oh, you think he's a
Yeah,
boomer,
no.
huh? How long you been making content for, Aaron?
Well, actually, there's a whole story. When I was like 12, 13 years old, I had an Xbox 360, right? Nobody knows this. This is an exclusive.
Ooh. A
I
Squadcast exclusive.
Yeah, I had a couple buddies that I played with that lived in the UK that I met playing Minecraft, the Xbox 360, right when it first came out. So, like, barely after, like, online play was even a thing.
Yeah.
And so I would, one of them was like, hey, make content. I was like, all right, bet. I'm fucking 13. I got nothing to lose. So I had a little tripod, right? That was probably about the height of the lamp that's sitting next to me. And I rested my iPod Touch on the top of it, recording the TV that was like over there. And it was very cursed. It wouldn't have flown today, but I did that for a little while. I recorded probably like 5-6 videos when I was like 13, so almost 10 years ago now. But
yeah, that would have been what, like 2013?
Yeah, 2012, 2013, something like that. But after I did that, I was like, okay, this is boring. I don't like this. And me and the buddies fell out of contact, so I just didn't bother with it. I grew up normal, but I went through like high school and stuff like that.
Oh, this guy grew up normal, Bobby.
Yeah, I grew
normal.
He took his normal pills.
Yeah, I wake up every morning and take my normal pill, drink my Rockstar Energy, and I'd be.
You're just living your normal life.
Yeah, but if you ever forgot, you would be default dancing in the middle of the cafeteria.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, so as I started to get back into it, like I've always been a big like YouTube guy. Like I've always engaged with and consumed content. And about 3-ish years ago, so 2019-ish. Late 2019-ish, I just started, like, me and my high school buddies would play something, and then I just record for like 4 hours and then cut it up. And that's where I started.
So okay, I technically have a YouTube video out there that's like my precursor of all precursors, something that I think only Jordan knows about. I shared it in the Discord.
I've
Okay.
seen
Yeah.
it. It's good.
So back when Rock Band was first like a thing, like when it was very very first a thing. This is like 14 years ago. I was super into it. Rock Band is actually like what taught me the foundations of playing drums and got me into like playing real drums. Like I played Rock Band, and then immediately following, bless my mom's heart, she fucking got me drums. You know, she was like, "You're clearly really into this," and I still am actually. So, but regardless, at the time, I really, really, really loved full combo 100% videos. Like that was like really big on YouTube. That's still like a popular thing now, but it was just like this new trendy thing on YouTube, and I was really fucking into it. I watched videos all the time, like top of the day to the bottom of the day. If I had internet access, I was watching those fucking videos. And so I wanted to like be like those guys so bad. And you were like, oh, you know, I like had this like shitty tripod and an iPod Touch or whatever. This video, and you can play it when I'm done with my speech or whatever. But this video is so Lil Stoney in the Game Squad. She's my niece, like IRL. We are related.
Yeah.
And she is in this video. She is the person holding the video. She is the camera. She is holding the camera. And then I'm playing Rock Band on a tiny dumpy little ass CRT TV. And you can hear, like, if you listen at the very very beginning of the video, you can hear Baby Bobby's voice. I'm like, no more talking. So deep down, I've kind of always wanted to be a content creator, I guess, to an extent, because I saw those videos and I was like, oh, I want to do that too. Like, I didn't know that was like being a content creator, but at the time, like that was what it was, right? So I guess I've kind of always had this fucking passion inside of me to fucking put myself out there.
Yeah. And that's fucking awesome. I want to hear Baby Bobby.
You don't have to watch the whole thing because it's a copyrighted song, but watch like the first 10, 20 seconds. You'll get an idea of the quality of this video.
Well, yeah, knowing your voice, like now, I can't picture little Squeaker Bobby, you know, like 3 octaves higher than he is now.
I was like, I had like a stoned fever dream. It was like a few weeks ago. I'm sitting here hanging out. I'm baked, and I'm just thinking about random shit, and my brain's like, I wonder if you could find your old YouTube channel. Like, I wonder if you could find that first YouTube video you ever made. And I remember, so for whatever reason, my brain remembers this title, RBDC %, and it's because it stands for Rock Band Danny California. I don't know what the percentage was. I remember putting that into YouTube. I like remember being a fucking dumb, crusty kid and being like, I don't know what you title YouTube videos. And like, growing up, I always wanted to be like perceived as cool, right? Like whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah.
And so like, I didn't want people to see this and know that I put like effort into it and cared about it, because that would have made me a pussy.
Yeah,
Right.
your public perception would have been different.
Yeah. So I just was like, hey, yeah, whatever. Rock Band, Danny California. Who cares? I play drums. Ooh la la.
As
How about
for
you, Joe?
me,
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear the Jordan origins.
I have been making content off and on, like regularly, since 2013.
Okay.
It started with the Minecraft channel, but then I was like, I don't want to do a Minecraft channel anymore, and that's cringy, like 2-3 years later.
Yeah.
I then transitioned into making stupid videos with my friends who we played CSGO all the time, so there were a couple CSGO videos, and just other general games where we were just dicking around. That's called Zeus Blazers, you can see that.
Okay.
Then, after that, I was like, alright, I kind of want to make, like, my own videos that isn't part of, like, this group. But I don't want to use this old channel, because it's branded for Minecraft, and I can change the name, but it's, like, it's its own thing. Like, this is a new thing.
Yeah.
So, that's when I made pandaforcegaming. I want to say that was like 2015, 2016 maybe, when I did that. Shortly after, I stopped doing a bunch of stuff on there and started doing a bunch of stuff with the original Game Squad Let's Play.
Yeah.
Which I kept doing until I got busy with pandaforcegaming again, which is what I've been doing since then. And it comes and goes in waves of me like doing stuff and not doing stuff. But there is, I just remembered, a video on YouTube from longer ago. It is from, let's see, 2012, the beginning of 2012.
Oh no.
It is just called scaryturtlecar.wmv. That is its title on YouTube.
I'm gonna need the link.
And literally all it is. Do you remember that old video where it was like it was like called Scary Car or something, where it would be the car driving and then like was it the Exorcist?
Oh yeah, dude,
up?
that video got me when I was like video totally got me.
Oh, it got me. It got me and my friend who hasn't been in my content in like forever. But if you go back to my old videos on pandaforcegaming, the intro that's like pandas, you know that?
Yeah.
That guy's voice, he and I made scaryturtlecar.wmv together. It is a video that we took. We literally just filmed someone driving down our street.
Okay.
And then as it was me filming, just following the car, going down the street, and then once it got to a certain point, Josh, he put his turtle in front of the camera and made like a weird noise, and then we decided to make it slow-mo because it was too fast. We were like, well, we want to make it so like it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So like, you know, people are like, oh, what's gonna happen? Because like the original video, it's like the car's driving a long time. So I slow the video down. So it's like a super slow shot of this car coming up and driving by, and then the turtle comes out, and it's just like some weird noise that he makes, like oh! or something, and that's it. And then like half of the video is like the stupidest credits ever.
That is incredible. I fucking love that.
We literally just started typing random shit, if I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
and
that
that was the origin of me on YouTube. Never did anything else with that channel because that was stupid.
That was stupid. Well, I mean, all of us, everybody that creates content, like everybody has their starting point, right? And it's really funny for us to just talk about it and go back to it, but like, yeah, no, that there's some old cursed videos that all of us have made. Like my old channel's long dead, but I don't know. I think it's fun to like look back at it, especially since you've been around for almost a decade on fucking YouTube. That's crazy.
Yeah, because even if you don't count Scary Turtle Car, which I don't, like I've been pretty regularly making content for almost a decade now.
Well, between the three of us, we have a decade of experience, if not more, which is
for sure
insane.
Even if you only take my current channel, that's definitely like probably 6 years old by now.
Yeah.
So combine that with your 3, 4. And Bobby, you have about
count,
5
if
now.
you're considering Underground Arcade and tubbytotodile, like his collective experiences, then yeah, it's been 5 years.
I do.
Yeah,
because that's around the time you started. Taking YouTube seriously.
This video by Master Drum 3R, I don't know if that really counts as a serious attempt.
Yeah, I don't think I think it counts about as seriously as scaryturtlecar.wmv.
Scary turtle. Well, okay, so here,
yeah, that's 15 years of us taking content seriously combined,
which is fucking awesome. But here, with that in mind, we're at the 55-minute mark. Real quick, do you want to do we want to go through like 2 minutes, take 2-3 minutes each to just talk about what you're most proud of or what you've learned, like any big lessons or anything like that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll say, I mean, I'll gladly start. Like, I, being a creator, have learned a lot just about being like really genuine, right? Like, and what that even means about like expressing yourself genuinely, you know. I think when I was younger, I kind of had like a muddled idea of what that meant, and you know, I'm really proud now to say that like I have, well, I say like a very distinguished identity for like my channel and like how I like represent myself online and stuff. And so I'm like really, really, really like proud of that, because I don't feel like I struggle like with. There was a while where I was having like imposter syndrome, where it was just like I don't know what the real identity is, and I don't know who I am, and you know, like it made making content such a struggle because I didn't, you know, I couldn't figure out where I'm drawing the line between this persona and all these things, you know, like it was very confusing. So it feels so nice to be able to like just look at the channel and look at what I'm making and know like, oh, you know, like, you know, this is it. Like, you know, I'm happy with it, and that's what's like the most important thing. You know, I love feeling that like sense of just like happiness looking at like the content I'm working on now. Like when I look at like the last 10 videos I've made, I'm proud of all of them, you know, because I put so much hard work into them.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel much the same way, because obviously for me, every step of my journey that I just described in painstaking detail has been something new learned for me about, you know, who I am, what kind of content I'm good at making, and what kind of content I want to make. Yeah. And the thing that I'm definitely most proud of in my content creator journey, like there's a lot for me to be proud of, but it's definitely hardcore, and my growth even while making that, because if you go back to the early seasons of hardcore, even like Minecraft 4, which, you know, was pretty well into me making seasons, and where I first met Bobby, like, it's a little scuffed. But, like, you know, since the beginning, I've gotten so much better at being able to, you know, pace videos well. I've gotten better at, like, you know, editing in, like, effects and, like, finding good music to match, like, the mood, and making things, like, intense, dramatic, funny. I've just grown so much as a content creator, especially while editing, but also even just, like, me being able to talk to people, which I think streaming has helped. But the thing that I'm absolutely the most proud of is actually the thing that I'm in for about 10 minutes of, which is the 6th season of Minecraft Hardcore. Because it's basically my magnum opus as a content creator, and it brings together all of these different people that I've met along the way. Not everyone, because I wasn't able to get everyone, but so many of the people that have helped me become who I am today, I get to include in this project that means so much to me.
Yeah,
fuck yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, that's what we gun for, right? Like that's why we do. That's what we do. What we do. We just want to be proud of our work and enjoy what we're doing. And yeah, segueing into myself, I was in a rough place when I started like taking this seriously, and I'm most proud of the community that has come together, not like that I've become a part of, whether it's like my regulars that frequent my stream or used to frequent my stream when I was actually streaming, or just the people that I play with, like being in projects with Kush, being in projects with you guys, being in projects with like all the people. Like I've known people like Ann Plant for fucking ever. She's fucking awesome.
Agree.
I agree.
And yeah, no, Ann, you're pretty hype. But like Ann, PJ, Kush, there's so many people that I wouldn't have met if I didn't take that. Like I wasn't at like my lowest point in life up to this point, because I'm only 22. But if I didn't reach out a little bit, I'm very proud of myself, I guess, for making that first step and taking that effort to go out and network and meet all these people, because the community that's built around Game Squad, around myself, around you guys, around everybody, it's fucking awesome, and I love to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Like we're all good vibes.
I'm so happy that we were able to make this group.
Yeah, in this group, like we only have brighter days ahead too. Like this, we're living it we're living the dream without, you know, when
Yeah.
you don't have you don't have to make money to live the dream of a content creator, right? Like, if you treat it as a hobby and you have a good community and you love what you're doing, that's all that fucking matters, baby. Like,
Yeah. Like, for me
That's all there
personally,
is to
I
it.
genuinely love what I'm doing, and I'm so happy doing it that if I were to start making money, that would
Yeah.
just be a bonus.
yeah,
Like, I'm already happy.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's all we can ask for, right? And here's to, I mean, my water's gone, but like, here's to the past, the present, and the future of Game Squad and all of us individually.
Yippee!
Yeah, here, cheers. But thanks for having me on, guys. It was fucking fun. It was good
Yeah.
to talk to you guys. It's been a minute since I've been in any sort of
Yeah.
content at all whatsoever.
Yeah, it was great to have you. Great to have you on this inaugural episode of the Squadcast.
The Squadcast,
Let's
baby.
go.
Let's
New
go.
start. New start. Shaka bruh.
First of many.
Well, shit. Then I guess that's gonna be it
Yeah,
for the first episode of the Squadcast. So, you know, if you've been listening this whole time, you give us some feedback. Let us know how you thought. Give us all the important things, right? But other than that, I guess we'll fucking see you guys later.
Yeah.
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 Bye,
Bye.
guys. I love you guys.